This video is all about the wild boar. Otherwise known as the javelina, this pig is a fantastic source of food income in Age of Empires 2. Collecting from this creature gives you an astounding 340 food, making it one of the best food sources in the game. So important, in fact, that players will steal or lame this boar if given the opportunity. Not only will this give you additional food yourself, but it will also remove food from your opponent's economy. You might be thinking, well, that's a pretty basic thing to make a video on T90. Are you running out of ideas with content or what? Well, believe me, it gets more complicated than you think. Let's start with how you steal a boar. Just like luring with a villager, a player will need to hit a boar 2 times with a scout for it to continue to give chase. If you hit the boar 1 time, it will soon become uninterested in your scout and return to its starting position. Each boar can see 3 tiles. If you move more than 3 tiles away, the boar stops chasing your unit. Now you might think that if you attempt to steal 2 boars, you would need to be extra careful to stay within the line of sight of both of the boars. That's actually not the case. If you've ever played around in the scenario editor, you've probably noticed the Gaia player. You use this player to place boar, and these boars belong to this player 0. So since all boar belong to the same player, they actually all share the same line of sight. Instead of having to be within the line of sight of both boars at all times, your unit only needs to be within the line of sight of 1 boar. As you can see here, I shoot the first boar and he begins to run to attack the villager. Then, when I attack the next boar, both continue to follow, even though one can just see him. Then when the closest boar dies and he no longer has vision, it leaves the furthest boar to return to his home. But we're just getting started. The Gaia player consists of more than just boars. As you could probably guess, other wild animals like deer and wolves belong to Gaia. But that's not all. If you type in the cheat code Natural Wonders, then you can take control of the Gaia player, and you will see that relics and birds also share Gaia line of sight. That means if you are stealing a boar and see a nearby relic, you can run into that relic's line of sight, and the boar will continue to chase. It will follow until the point where you leave the Gaia player's vision. My favorite one is the birds. If you get lucky, you might just find one of these flying overhead to help your cause. I first learned of this over a year ago, and since then I have found many examples in my commentary. However, it was kind of hard to explain to people, so this is the best way to give a visual example. Here is a recent example where this occurred during a pro tournament. In Game 5 between Ireland and Norway in the 2v2 World Cup, Melkor was stealing a boar from the boar lamer himself, MBL. Now when you're being lamed, the best way to stop it is to simply block the boar, thus bringing it outside the 3-tile line of sight from your opponent's scout. Now here's a clip of me casting this game live when MBL attempted this, and then after we watch the clip, we'll go into the game to investigate. Oh, Melkor's gonna steal a boar from the Boar Whisperer. Wait, MBL's here! Oh my god! MBL could block this! Oh my god, I called it too early. MBL's known for stealing boars. Melkor tries to steal one from him, and MBL's here. And I don't think this boar is getting back to Melkor's base. MBL should know to block this off. Oh, he does, but Melkor's staying within the line of sight of it. Look at this! Look at this! That boar's not even moving! MBL just stopped that boar dead in his tracks. Look at this. It's not even moving, man. Blocking this off. This is gonna take half the game to get the boar across if it's gonna happen. Look at that! There's no way. There's no way. Look at it! I've never seen a lame like this before! This is ridiculous! We're 4 minutes in. They've been chasing for 2 minutes! This is insanity, man. And that's a weak scout, so MBL could go for a few more hits, but like, good god, I feel like most of us couldn't even do this if we weren't controlling our ecos, and they're controlling our ecos, and oh, it stops. It stops. Don't try and steal a boar from MBL, ladies and gentlemen. Don't try and steal a boar from MBL. So we investigate further now, as Melkor is laming, and I'm going to show you Gaia's line of sight during this incident. So I switch to Gaia's line of sight, and as you can see, the boar has the 3-tile line of sight, but the wolves and the relics that are here are giving him additional room to chase. So MBL is blocking the boar, and he's probably thinking that this pig should be stopping, but because the relic and the wolf is there, it's just not gonna happen. So Melkor, he's probably surprised himself. He's running, MBL's still trying to block, but this boar is determined to kill Red Scout. Now, MBL did know about this trick. TWest, who I will credit in the video description, he's the one who showed me this trick. He actually made a video on it himself. And so I think at some point here, as MBL is blocking this, he realizes he has to let it go for a little bit longer, because at that point, the boar was pretty much on standstill. Now we're getting closer now to where the boar could lose line of sight on the scout because there's no other Gaia units. And fortunately for MBL, the second that scout goes out of the line of sight, the boar stops, and that boar will wander back to MBL's TC. So I hope you enjoyed these wild boar and Gaia facts, my friends. Yeah, that was a dad joke. Oh, I'm sorry. Was that joke too boring for you? I'll stop. And do make sure to keep this in mind when watching experts lame pigs in my commentary in the future. And make sure to like the video because Gaia will see you if you don't. Remember to also check out TWest's YouTube page. His video on this is linked in the video description. And thanks again, TWest, for helping me out in making this video. That's all from me, guys, and I'll see you next time.